Ladies and gentlemen, today on Lambvinskis Garage, I am going to be riding my 1985 Honda XL600R, and Drew is riding his 2024 Kawasaki KLR650s. And both of us have been riding for a little while, but I think we're going to have some fun today, so let's get it. So these bikes are wildly different, if you couldn't tell. Old technology because I'm cheap, and new technology because Drew makes the big buck. But anyways, I've been riding for somewhere like 20-something years off and on, and Drew's only been riding for about 2, and decided to step... About 5? Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah. But either way, he just stepped up to this KLR recently, so we're up in Capitol State Forest, and we're gonna go have some fun. You see, I've known Drew for, man, since middle school. That's a pretty long time now. But he just recently got into dual. He had a street bike and stuff, but I also recently just got into dual sports and bought this thing. I have all of about $1,400 into this bike. That's including licensing and all that. He's got around 10 grand in his, but his is brand new, super nice, fuel injected. Mine's an old dinosaur with nearly 10,000 miles. But hey, we're just out to have fun. It's not going to cost us a ton of money. I packed a lunch. He's coming with me, and we're just going to go see what we can do. See how this day shakes out. I just got this brand new camera. DJI Osmo Action 4 with a purple Panda microphone for those of you that care, and we're just testing her out, see how we do. And I would really like to do some more of this motorcycle content because it's what I really enjoy, is riding and taking you guys with me. I mean, why not, right? This road that we're on now is the D line. It goes all the way through Capitol Forest on the Oakville end over towards Bordeaux and Little Rock. But it's paved all the way. It's kind of a 1.5 lane, but it's really pretty. It's really nice in the summertime, and in the fall you get all these trees that are all, you know, leaves are coming down. Get all the cool colors, and I don't know. It's just kind of neat, I think. And we're right next to a creek that goes all the way through. You won't be able to see it, but it's over there, believe me. People use this forest for everything. Like you just saw, bicyclists went by. There's horse trails, hiking trails, and it's all public land. It's state, so they have gates here and there, but we can go pretty much anywhere we want, especially on these, which makes it really easy. But this is a pretty great place, and I am very fortunate to have it as my backyard. See, there's kind of a creek right there. There used to be more campgrounds up here, but now there's only about 2. And we're going to go to one of them today, maybe another time. This used to be a campground here, but she's kind of gone now. The state doesn't want to take care of them, and they can't get people to, and then people abuse them, and it just kind of sucks. But, you know, what can you do? There's that pretty creek over there. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of weird monologuing to myself. I'm talking to you guys, but it's just, you know, it feels kind of weird in my helmet. I can do it looking at a camera, but anyways, I'm going to check this footage, see if we're getting anything good. I gave old Drew Boy the opportunity to go take the XL for a rip. We'll get his opinion, see what he thinks compared to his KLR. No, I can...
Intoxicating intake sound. Oh my god.
I think he likes it. Well, what do you think of 40-year-old technology?
Dude, that intake noise is intoxicating.
It's fun, isn't it?
Dude, it is hilarious. You're telling me about the power. It definitely comes on and she wants to go.
I told you, you bring in that second carburetor and she takes off.
Dude, it's nice.
It's fun though, isn't it?
Man, who would have thought?
I know, right?
This thing here picks up in boogies.
It does. It's fun.
Put in a highway gear.
I know, it needs it. It's really low geared now.
Dude, you throw in a highway gear on this thing's gonna be a hoot.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go give this big old KLR a try, see what I think about her, see if I can't hurt myself. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so weird. Oh, she's a lot faster than my bike. He just put brand new tires on this yesterday. We went to the power store and we were looking at Tenere 700s by Yamaha. And they were a pretty decent buy, $9,700. And you know, if I didn't have 3 motorcycles and, you know, that I'm $2,500 into, they wouldn't be that bad. Boy, his brakes are, you know, quite a bit better than mine. Imagine that when it's got disc and all that fun stuff. Mine's got a disc in the front, but it's still got a drum in the rear. I would really like to put a swing arm with a disc on it. We'll romp on this thing a little bit. Yeah, that ain't bad at all, and this windshield's really nice. You know, I think this is the perfect bike for a guy like Drew. It's nice and tame and easy to work on, and it's going to have a really good warranty because it's brand new. But anyways, it's pretty neat. Whew. Yeah, that brake grabs a lot, but you know, I like it a little more than I thought I would. It's kind of fun. Well, like I've said, I've ridden motorcycles off and on for the better part of 20 years, but I really just got back into dual sports recently. And a lot of that is my friends, but also a lot of it is this guy called Dork in the Road. Super cool dude out of Oregon who does dual sport motorcycle stuff. And his videos are very inspiring for people like me to go out and buy something like this. Would he ride something like this? Probably not, because it's an old turd. But it's just what I like. So if you're watching me, but you've never heard of him, you really should go follow him. Dork in the Road's a pretty cool dude. I'll put his link down in the description. We're heading up to Fall Creek Camp, which is over kind of on the Olympia, Little Rock side. And we're just going to go have lunch. It's more of a horse arena and staging campground now. But it's super quiet, super cool. And it's a place to check out if you want. And there's bicycle trails and hiking trails and all that stuff. Nothing for me to do on a bike other than ride up there and have lunch, but you know, I'm trying to get in better shape to go ride the Washington BDR next year. That's one of my goals. I don't think it'll be on this bike, but it'll be on my XR600. It's got a bigger tank, all that kind of cool stuff. You can expect to see old Drew Boy and my buddy Nicholas. And we might get a couple more people to go with us, but I think a group of 3 would be nice. But anyways, I'm going to keep riding. Well, it's not all sunshine and rainbows to owning a 40 or 50 or even a 60-year-old kind of dual sport motorcycle. You know, I picked this one just because, well, my favorite color is orange, and these bikes are just gorgeous. They're timeless to me. They have some of the coolest decals on them, but it did take some work to get this thing back together because it was in pieces, in boxes. The guy was going to put a big bore kit in it and then just decided not to because I believe he realized you have to pull the engine out to get the head off. And if you're looking at an XR or an XL, just know that I think like 1989 or 1990, they made the frame a little bigger so you can get the engine out or get the head off and the cylinder off. Maybe not the cylinder, but I know you can get the head off without pulling the engine. And this one's got the timing the cam chain tensioner. That makes a tick every once in a while. It's not too bad yet, but I do need to pull the engine, reseal it, but for now, I'm just riding it, enjoying it, and having a lot of fun. There's just something so freeing about this being my backyard, pretty much. And I can just go out and ride whenever I want. Today's a Sunday. Our high is about maybe 65, but it's probably mid to high 50s right now. I've got a pretty thick flannel on, and Drew's got his fancy riding gear. He's got a little more money to spend than I do, but he wanted to go for the grandpa look on his old man bike, which is perfectly fine. I just want to go with what works, and hey, for about $1,400, 13, 1400, whatever I got in this thing, I mean, I'm tickled pink, so that's all that matters. But do know, if you do want to get into this, these bikes can get expensive, and parts are pretty hard to get. You gotta be pretty handy with a wrench, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, how can you beat this? But that being said, during the week, there is a lot of logging that goes on in here, so you really need to be careful about trucks. I'll wait for Drew again. There he comes. I just don't want him to get lost. I don't want to have to backtrack for him. I mean, he's a pretty smart fella. Mainly a fart smella, but that's beside the point. I prefer to ride during the week because there's less people up here, less chance of getting hit. There's lots of trucks during the week, no trucks on the weekend. So, but then you get all the clowns that are off of work that want to come squirrel around up here and drift around corners. So you just got to be careful. It's a dangerous world out there, especially for views like that. If this was a nice clear day, you'd be able to see, when we get up to the peak, you would be able to see Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, and if you look real hard and it's really nice, you can see Mount Baker. And if it's just really perfect weather, you can even see Seattle, which I would rather stay away from that hive of scum and villainy, but, you know, I don't have to go up there anymore, and that's all right with me. There's way more traffic up here than we usually ever see, but it's a nice Sunday. People are out and about, so you just got to be more cautious. We've passed a lot of rigs, but that's okay. We're going this way. Yeah, it's super nice up here, though. If you ever get the chance, I mean, it's nothing special, but I want to say there's something like 100,000 acres, or it might be more, I don't know. I can fact check when I get home. I'm sure you'll see it on the screen right here. But there's tons of logging roads. There's some washout right there. But lots of logging roads, lots of hills to climb, lots of trails. There's lots of fun stuff, and this bike just eats it up. I don't want to take it on any trails because, I mean, while it is fun and kind of nimble, I can go all over the place, but I would cry if I dented this tank any more than it already is. So I would like to keep this bike nice. Oh man, a Randlover with bicycles. I guess there's a really cool bicycle trail that comes from the peak, which is over there, all the way down, and it's pretty much just a big downhill section. They say these bikes from the factory come pretty lean, so I might need to check my spark plug, see how it's looking, and then fatten it up a little bit, give her a little more fuel. But this thing starts absolutely fabulous. Every time I ask, away she goes. But whenever I let somebody else ride it, they think this is the compression release, and it's down here. But it's also got a compression release on the kicker. This is the choke, so don't pull that one. Or she's not going to start. We had that issue a little while ago. But we're back on the road, so it don't matter. Here we go over Fall Creek. It's just a little goomer. And the campground's just up over there. A lot of people don't give away their secrets, where they're going, what they're doing, but, you know, I don't really care. I want people to come out and enjoy this. And have fun like me. Me and Drewbert today. We're just having a grand old time. I believe that sign said closed to motorcycles, but it would help if I could read. Anyways, I'm going to keep going. I think they don't want the engines to scare horses or whatever's up here. But I'm going to go find a place to sit down and we're going to have lunch. We didn't have a very big smoky season this year. I was pretty happy with that. We only had a couple of days where it was really hazy and just all around not good. But let's see if we can find us a landing spot, preferably somewhere with a table. I know I've been sitting for a while, but I would also like to sit to enjoy my fine string cheese. I do believe, aha, I see it. There is a bench in there. How do I get to it though? There we go. Whoop, went past neutral. Alright, well, me and Drew are going to enjoy a lunch. It's well deserved. We've got a whopping 20 miles and 29 more, and I'll get to 10,000 on this bad boy. It's going to be a short ride today. I don't know how long this video is going to be. This is the first one I've ever done like this, so I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you. Either way, we're continuing on. It's quite the climb out of here. I'm going to bring you because, well, I can. I believe you won't be able to see it, but I can. But there's radio towers right up there. That is Capitol Peak, which is the highest place in here in Capitol Forest. They've got radio towers and all that kind of stuff up there. Sometimes the gates open. There's a trail that's for motorcycles and quads that comes up the back, but she's pretty rough, and I don't want to do it on something like this. 2 carburetors on this thing. You can really tell when the second one kicks in. I'm sure I'm just smoking Drew out back there because this thing's 40 years old. Who knows if the head's ever been off to even get a valve job. It will be this winter, but until then, who knows if this thing's ever been apart. It's got almost 10,000 miles on it. I had a Rivian or a EV Hummer or whatever they are. It was ugly, whatever it was. Some of these sections they have paved because I believe a lot of it's because they get a lot of traffic, and the other part is there's a lot of water runoff up here, and they don't want the dust to get into the fish streams or something stupid like that, but whatever. Kind of fun to hit those little paved sections every once in a while, though. It gets a little twisty. It can be kind of a little more fun than the gravel. It's a good mix. What's really nice is this is a nice, cooler September day. There's no dust. We can follow close, so we're not going to get dirty, but I am a little on the chilly side. But it's all worth it for this kind of riding, these kind of views, and this much fun. If you're on the fence about getting a dual sport, do it. It's fun. Get your friends to do it. Then it's even more fun. But even by yourself, yeah, it can be a little scary, but it's a really good time. I would highly recommend it if you would, if you're interested in this kind of stuff. Or if not, you can just ride with me. I go look at cool things and ride cool places, so I might get a little annoying babbling at you though, so that's okay. Wouldn't be the first time. Still lots of nice big timber in here, which is really cool. I'm sure it'll be logged someday, but until then, it's super cool. Ooh, road's a little wishy-washy there. Probably can't see it on the camera, but I can. Just get out and explore. It's so much fun. But always remember to at least tell one person where you're going. A trustworthy person. I usually tell a couple people and I say, hey, if I'm not back in, like, oh, geez, this is ready. Washboardy, I mean. But if I go, hey, if I'm not back in by 6 o'clock tonight, call me, and if I don't answer, then maybe start questioning where I am. But when I get home, I'll let you know. But it's always a good thing to keep someone in the know what you're doing, where you're going, especially when riding alone. In this instance, I have good old Drew Boy behind me, so that works great. While I'm rambling and thinking of things to talk about, we are doing a cheap motorcycle challenge. So the rules are, you got $750 to buy this motorcycle, right? It can be anything you want. And you have $250 to fix it, whatever's wrong with it, whatever that may be. And then we're going to come up here and we have to ride for at least 100 miles. And we're going to play games like no dab sections and maybe some sort of rodeo type thing or something like that. But I picked up a 1980 Yamaha IT425, an absolute beast of a two-stroke, but she needs a lot of love. I'm currently $400 in it. It runs, but not well. What do you think?
I've never been in this spot.
Pretty nice, huh? But we're gonna soak in this view and then I'll get back to talking about it. Well, the sun finally came out for old Drewbert and I. He's gonna start that thing up. Kids and their technology, I tell ya. Keep laughing. Hopefully mine starts one kick. Oh yeah. Alright, well, the sun's shining now, but we gotta go that way to get home. Keep forgetting that the microphone is right in my face, so if I'm yelling, I do apologize. This is the first time I've done this, like I said. But like I was saying, I have my IT425. My buddy Nicholas picked up a 1985 XR350R for $650, and it is a peach. But we're looking for a few more guys to join us, and we gotta come do 100 miles up here. And then we're probably gonna camp too, so whether we just have somebody stage and set up a campground for us that we can meet at, or if we gotta pack some stuff here and there, we'll do that. See who got the best fuel economy, who got closest to the repairs, who spent the least, who spent the most. If that's something you'd be interested in seeing, put it down in the comments, because I think that would be a ton of fun. And man, the sun went away and it got cold. Wow. Drew Boy and I are on the back stretch now. We're at 30 miles for the day, and I know it's 10 miles back to where we started this. But I want to do one, whoop, that hit that puddle. I want to do one little detour, show you guys over towards Fuzzy Top. Where we stopped is where you could overlook it, but it's just a super neat place through here. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun and it don't cost you anything. I calculated my fuel economy, and on this old beast, I'm getting like 44 to 45 miles to gallon. And that's really not that bad, but I only have a 2.3 gallon tank. So I gotta be mindful of that, but when I can go ride all day with one of my best friends and it cost me $4, you know, I can't complain. So I'm not a big fan of highway riding just because of other people. I'm confident in my riding ability and Drew's riding ability, but the dojack that's going down the road, that's on their phone, sipping their coffee, not paying attention, that's not really what I would like to meet. So that's what really enthralls me about the BDR. Going to do stuff like that on roads like this across the country, or well, across the state, with my best friends riding motorcycles, creating memories, and making some sweet video for you guys. So Fuzzy Top Mountain is right over here, and I'm sure most of you aren't going to know what Fuzzy Top is, but it's an old growth section of Capitol Forest where they weren't able to get the steam donkeys or whatever it was back in the day up here to get to these old growth trees. So now there's a hiking trail that my dad and I just did recently. It's a little over 2 miles, and let me tell you, when the only shape you're in is round, it can be pretty tough. It wasn't that hard, but it definitely gave me a pretty good workout. And I think my goal, because I would like to get better shape, all that, is I would like to ride or walk that trail and not get wore out. If I could do that, I would be happier than a clam, or maybe even a tornado in a trailer park. But this is really a super cool lookout too. So I think this is going to be probably one of our last stops, and then we're going to head home. Sounds pretty good to me anyways. Whew. Yeah, we were just right over there, but you can see, on clear days, you can see way out there. Unfortunately, today is not one of those days, but one day, we'll go for a ride up here, and I'll show you the views. Anyways, I'm going to take a break for a little while. Pretty neat, huh? Yeah, we're just on the old home stretch now. I forgot to bring the batteries with me because I'm a dummy, and it looks like you're getting low, but I just figured I'd get some action shots in for Drew, let him lead for a little while, and then we'll wrap this thing up when I get home. How's that sound? Good? Good. I agree. Oh, and this was just a spur-of-the-moment trip for us. He blew a tire last time he went riding, actually got a pinch flat in a tube, and wanted to upgrade tires anyways, so he upgraded, and I went, hey, come over and let's go riding tomorrow. Yeah, go try them tires out anyways, right? And he goes, yeah, so here we are. Put him up to about a 40-mile test. For me, probably about 60 for him. But hey, he's looking at breaking 2,000 miles on that bike when by the end of the year. He's at 1,600 now. He got it back in April, so I think that's a pretty good goal. I'd like to break 10,000, but I don't know if I'll break that today. It doesn't matter. This thing needs to be taken apart this winter. She leaks oil. She's got a tick here and there, but man, I love this bike. How could you ask for, better than this? One kick 99% of the time, and she just boogies. It's fun. Very, very fun bike. I am very happy with it, and I wholeheartedly understand why people cult follow these 600s and such. This video isn't sponsored by anyone, but we are using OnX Off-Road on our phones, and that is like a trail mapping service. They also have an OnX Hunting that will tell you all the public land, who owns the land, and all that kind of stuff, which is really handy if you're a hunter. But this one gives you highlights to all the trails, it highlights all the roads, and it gives you a good, it's GPS. So we can create a route and then just follow it, and even when we don't have a signal, it will show us where we're at. It's pretty cool, super handy. I really, really like it. You guys might not be able to see it on the camera, but that tree right there is huge. That's one of the big old growths. It's all twisted up and stuff, but this is one of my favorite corners and actually areas in the whole forest, because you get that big cool switchback, and then we come into this really neat, just kind of alpine area, or not alpine, I don't know what you'd call it. I'm trying not to be fancy and, just show you that we're having fun. Pretty fun stuff. I am super happy with this bike, super happy with the weather we got today, and it's just been a really good day to what's been a really crappy year. But now that I've got some two-wheel therapy, it's really not that bad. The majestic Drew boy on his mighty fine KLR650. Oh, there he goes. He's going to outrun me. I don't know, he might be fuel injected, but if I put some highway gears on this, I think I'd give him some run for his money. Right now, he would definitely outrun me. And I'm spinning a little harder than I like to at like 55. But it's only a couple of miles I have to do highway like that. Where his is more of an adventure bike. And he can do it all day long. Good old twisty section. Alright, well, we're pretty much back where we left off, so me and Drew Boy are gonna get parked and we're gonna wrap this up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our ride and the end of the video for you. We did about 40 miles today, which ain't too bad, up here anyways. I had a ton of fun. The sun finally came out. It's super nice, and you know, I got to ride Drew's KLR, and it was not that bad. A little heavier for a bike that I would like, but it was really nice. It would make a nice, kind of what we did today.
Yeah, just a logging road bomber.
Yeah.
It's not much of a trail rider.
Right.
Yours is the dual sport.
Right.
This is the ADV. The ADVs are kind of like a logging road bomber.
Yep.
Mixed with, you could do light trails. That one there, you could do everything.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect for single track. It'd be a little tight, a little heavy.
Yeah, a little heavy, but
you could do her.
But it's also from the 1980s.
Right.
So if we got something slightly more modern, it would probably be better. But, I mean, this doesn't have the 700-mile oil change intervals. I don't have to adjust the valves every 10 hours. I have to put gas in it, I have to kick it, and away it goes. And that's what's great about something like this.
It's about how it is with this. You
Yeah.
just put fuel in and you go.
That's exactly it. This bike isn't for everybody. That bike isn't for everybody. This works fantastic for me. That works fantastic for him. We're all happy. We're all having fun, and we're enjoying the great outdoors.
Oh yeah, and that's honestly when you get dual sports,
Yeah.
your ADV. That's really what it's about.
Exactly.
And I kind of want to start doing overlanding with the truck, and that's
Yeah.
about the same way.
And then take that with you too, and you can go off wherever you want.
Yep. So the XL, I got to ride that.
Yeah.
And comparative, this guy here, you got 100 pounds on me.
At least.
Yep. And you got dual carburetors.
Correct.
And the cool part is when you whack that thing full throttle, the second carburetor opens up like halfway through,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
just a whole fun ride.
Yeah.
That thing there would be a lot of fun if you were to keep her up in like a power band
Yeah.
and just start reefing on her. That thing would be hilarious to see what you could do with time trials.
Yeah. Riding across the desert wide open, this thing would just scream.
Oh yeah.
And it would be so much fun. But, I'm actually thinking about heading down to Yuma and riding some of the foothills down there. I probably wouldn't take this bike. I would take my XR because it's a little more set up for that. But
right, yeah.
I still think it would be a ton of fun.
oh yeah.
How'd you like your tires?
Love them.
Yeah, they work
They're-
good, don't they?
And after today, they've definitely broke in enough where I feel more confident on the road.
Good.
Because right through here, you can't see it on camera, but you go literally like, what, eighth of a mile that way, there's a paved
yeah.
road. Goes all the way over to Mima Mounds from Highway 12.
Yep, it's paved.
And after our trip through the gravel, this thing here, all of a sudden I can actually like, kind of huck it into a corner and it'll stick.
Yeah,
I can
feels
almost
good.
run this thing like a, I can hear the air popping off of my gas tank. But you
But
can
it
really just huck it
sticks.
into a corner and it'll just stick.
Yeah.
It almost seems like a sport bike with knobby tires on it now,
Yeah.
which, not bad. I've heard some weird stuff about this front tire, so,
Hey.
As
long as they work for you, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Everybody has their opinions online, and some things work for me, some things don't work for others, and as long as it works for you and you're happy with it, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Exactly. And as long as you're out here doing this type of stuff, you're not
Exactly.
babying the bike.
Right.
Don't baby the bike.
Yeah, you gotta beat on them every once in a
You
while.
just gotta show them who's boss. You gotta smack them around a little
Yeah,
bit. It's
that's
all right.
Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right.
Hopefully I don't blow a rear tube again.
Again, yeah.
Oh.
Well, ladies and
You shit your
gentlemen,
pants.